swanging and banging on the ones and twos. This Sunday, we are discussing current events, not gratitudes.
From Houston, I guess you're excited because the Astros won last night,
Yeah,
so the
yeah,
city is
that was
lit.
I didn't watch a single bit of that. I didn't watch a single bit of that baseball stuff. I was more interested in the memes with Mattress Mac with that whole my beds are soft. I'm not him going crazy, making all them bets stuff like he does every year on Houston teams. I was more
Yeah,
interested in that than the actual game itself.
right. No, I was gonna say I think he ended up winning like 75 million or something like that.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah,
70. And see, he's not a billionaire. So that 75 mil is gonna go a long way for him for everything he does. He does so much for the city too. He does a
yeah,
whole lot for the city.
for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he do with it.
Did you watch any of the baseball of the World Series?
I did watch. I watched like pretty much every game. Uh, that's kind of my
Yeah.
thing. I grew up playing baseball, so I mean, I don't watch it every year because I feel like the sport to me has become like a little bit more watered down. I mean, it's less. Did you know like this is the first year in baseball? Well, since like the maybe 50s or 60s, there wasn't an African American baseball player on either team, which is crazy. Shout out to Dusty, you know what I'm saying, being one of the few managers to win a World Series, but that's crazy. Like there's no
Yeah.
African American baseball players on either team.
Yeah, that's wild out, man. And I've been reading for a long time that the problem with that, I've been reading for a long time, the problem with that is that there are no baseball fields in black communities like in the hood or even the middle class areas. There's not baseball fields like that. But yo, man, at the same time, I feel like that should not be it. I feel like that should not be the explanation for why there are so few African American players now than it was 15, 20 years ago.
Right. It can't cost that much to build a field. Like get some land, get some fence, some dirt. And if that's the excuse, that's a bad excuse. With all
That's a
the
terrible excuse.
yeah, with all the athletes, millionaire athletes that we have now and other business people, we should definitely have fields in the hood or inner city communities, whatever they're saying what the problem is.
When the two teams play, can you explain what the difference in the styles is between the Astros and the Phillies? Is there a difference in the
Um,
style, the way they play, or anything like that? Or is I'll be quiet and wait.
I wouldn't say the style. I would say the pitching for the Astros was a lot better as far as like, of course, you have your starter where you have somebody that starts the game. They'll pitch 4 or 5 innings or however long they're doing well, and then you have like relievers. So that's when the Astros had like a advantage. Like their relievers were really good, and they were able to shut down the Phillies hitters, which have been killing like everybody else in the
They
postseason.
killed
But
us game four. Ooh, they killed us game four,
yeah,
but that game five, come back with a no hitter on them boys. You give
yeah,
up
that's
first, you give
crazy.
up five home runs. They all this thing in the next game, no hitter. Oh snap, that was wild.
I never seen nothing like that in my life, where it's like the game before. That's if put it in like baseball term or football, basketball terms. It's like LeBron scoring 50 one night and then coming back and scoring like five the next night. It's like that don't happen. Like, how is that even possible?
And then they
So
only got one last night. So that means the next two games, you got one run. I don't know how many hits you had, but you only got one run the next two games.
yeah,
It went from Bryce Harper doing the whole "This is my house, this is my house," and then doing all that big shit talking to absolutely silence. Wow.
yeah. The World Series setup is crazy to me too, because like it's 2-3-2. I think the NBA finals used to be like that too, whereas the home
Yeah, it
team
was
gets
back in the days, and they changed it.
2 home, then it's 3 straight for the away team, which to me is like a crazy advantage. Like if I can get
Yeah,
1 at home, the first 2 games, I get 3 straight back in
it's
my
over
place.
with. Yeah, it's
Like I
over
should be
with. I
able
ain't
to
even
win
coming
the
back.
series. Yeah, I'm not coming back. But for the Astros to go to Philly and win 2 in Philly, and then all they gotta do is come home and win 1 out of the 2 that they had left, it was a wrap.
Man, yeah, that's wild out. Oh snap! That was that. Like I said, I don't watch much baseball, but man, I even in my gratitude journal on Sunday today, I wrote that I was grateful that the Astros won, not because I watched the game or followed the game. I was grateful number one because I really feel like Dusty Baker deserved one. Like I know Dusty
Yeah,
Baker's been in the game for damn near 20 years, got gold gloves, been all types of stuff. I know he's won the World Series as a player, but
right.
I remember Dusty Baker being in San Francisco when Barry Bonds showed up in San Francisco and hitting all them home runs and getting all swollen. And they not quite. Like I remember them winning 100 games and not even making the damn playoffs. And you're like,
Right.
whoa, a rookie coach won 100 games. They didn't make the playoffs. Wow. So
Yeah.
I remember him going to the Cubs and they having that pitcher Kerry Wood that was supposed to be so hardcore with that 90
Yeah.
with the 100 some mile per hour fast, and that dude like blew out his shoulder or something like that. Tommy John,
Yeah.
something with his
Yeah,
elbow.
Tommy John.
That messed up that. I remember him going, he went somewhere lasted like a year. I was wondering, damn, something must have happened. He was only there for a year. And then he
Yeah, it
comes
was like the
here.
Reds or somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, he was somewhere for like a year. I don't know why he was only
Yeah.
there for 1 year. But he was gone in like a year. So
I started to
yeah, I was happy
almost feel
Dusty
like
Baker won.
I almost felt like Dusty Baker was like man, I'm trying to think. Either like I can't say Doc Rivers, kind of like Doc Rivers, where it's like he has good teams, but they always get to the playoffs and something happen and they mess up and end up losing.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
like that. So
Damn near like he is the coaching version of Chris Paul. Like everywhere you go, you win. You just don't win it. But
yeah,
everywhere you go, you win.
right.
The coach Chris Paul, yeah, that's what reminds me of. So I was happy he won. That was the number one reason. And then number two, I know on the algorithms and the timelines and everything else, you would see more Astros win, more Astros memes, more positive type stuff because they just won, versus seeing all the regular trash that I can see on social media. So those are the two big reasons that I even wrote in my gratitude journal that they won.
Right. I'm cool that they won. I'm in the city now, but it's like I was hoping the Phillies won could be like some juju juice to roll off for the Eagles. So I was kind of like, man, if the Phillies win, then the city gonna be super lit. They gonna continue that energy on to the Eagles, and they gonna have a chance to win. So I'm kind of disappointed in that, but I'm cool with either one.
Let it be known, I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan with my brother.
That may have been a reason why the Eagles and Texans game was so close on Thursday. I feel like that game should have been a super duper. It ended 29-17, but that game was a whole lot closer than it should have been.
Right. It was low key kind
And
of
that was the same night the Phillies hit. That was the same night the Phillies hit the 5 home runs too.
Yeah. Cause like, man, we barely beating the Texans. Like, what's going on? It's like, what's gonna happen to the Phillies Astros series? Which, kind of happened, but at least we end up winning at least.
Yeah. At least we ended up winning.
King's News is the brand new playlist presented by Kendrick Avant, and here we're going to discuss the hot topics, the current events, the news stories that make you stop scrolling.